but we got smashed, but we got smashed, but we got smashed, but we got smashed, bro.
What's up? It's your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast, episode 338. Back on our normal schedule, 8:30 every Thursdays. We are here. I have K-Bum20. I have Keith Norris in these internet streets, all inside of your eardrum. So what's up, people?
What it do? Yo, what's up?
So we got a little bit we're going to discuss on tonight. We got to talk about Microsoft's new Game Pass pricing. Have they altered the value? Is there still value there? Is this good? Is this bad? We're going to compare it to Sony's, what is their Essential? What's they called? Can't remember what they're called.
Well, they have several layers, extra, essential, extra, and then premium.
Is it PSN? PSN Plus? That's what it is. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
PSN Plus. So we're going to talk about that. We also going to talk about this EMIO. How you say it? Is I'm saying that right? EMIO?
Something like that.
We got to talk about this Nintendo 15-second just drop. Like this weird, strange, freaky, scary, disturbing, mature game that they just shadow dropped on the trailer on the other day. And then we also got to ask the question. Is it unfair to Astrobots to constantly get Nintendo comparisons? Is it robbing Astrobots of his own creative juices? We gotta talk about that. Was there anything else we supposed to talk about? I don't want to be missing anything. So let me know. Speak up now, forever for hold your peace.
That covers kind of what we wanted to talk about.
Okay. We back on these microphones, all inside of your homes. Howdy, Neil. Welcome to the show. But we ready to go. Let's get it. I am excited. I'm good, enjoying my summers. You sound like my wife. She enjoying her summers too. Fellow teachers across this great, slowly slipping away country of United States of America. Because I don't know what's going on in this country. Do y'all know what's going on in the country, man? What's happening? What's happening with us?
Dr. Umar said we need to come together and unite the black vote. Oh, Lord. I don't know if y'all heard him say that.
Yeah. Did I? Go ahead, Keith. My bad.
No, I said he said the reason we not getting nothing done because we're all individuals out here trying to do it, and ain't nobody on the same page.
We ain't on your page.
He stole that from Claude Anderson. He stole that from Claude Anderson. He stole that from Claude Anderson.
So you just not. So now everybody's stealing.
He stole that. I don't care how you. Like I said, don't care how you frame it. He stole it. I was playing. But no, Claude Anderson was saying all that stuff years ago. Guess what, man? We saw Umar Johnson on vacation.
Oh yeah,
he was staying at the hotel we was at. Yeah, in Atlanta. I saw him walk in. I didn't realize it was him. But my son has seen him and talked to him a couple of times. He said he tall. He's extremely tall, man. But he was staying at the Marriott, one of the Marriott we were staying at in Atlanta. So we was in his vicinity doing that trip. I forgot about that. But welcome to the show.
3, 2, 1, go!
I don't think he's wrong. I'm not saying he's wrong, but Sometimes Umar be contradicting his own self, but not on that statement.
Man, Umar, Umar is a bigot. I'm sorry, I'll say it.
Yeah,
He don't like white people. Can't nobody black like a white person. Like, come on, bro. You can't. He mad at Bronny James because Bronny James took a white girl to prom. Come on, man. Let people be with who they want to be.
But in that statement,
that's not what he's talking about, though.
Yeah, in that statement, he was correct. He's telling the truth there. I'm not gonna knock. But I ain't a big fan of Umar. I did like the fact that he went on Roland Martin, and because Roland Martin made me mad on that episode. I was glad he kind of stood up to Roland and all them. But Umar could do himself a favor if he actually be a little bit more balanced. He needs some balance, but
that man will never be balanced. He doesn't believe in balance. He believes in black dominance.
Did you see that? Did you see that prank they pulled on Umar when he was coming?
Oh, I saw that.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, it's pretty funny. But anyway, welcome to the show.
No, hold on. I do want to say though, like I think he talked about on that Breakfast Club interview. It's not that he don't like white people. It's about building black enterprise, and he don't think that having a white person with you is the right thing. So that's like if you're not trying to build the black enterprise, then go do your thing. But it's like, because I think he's mentioned something about like he's not gonna have Dave Chappelle on his walls in his school. He's like, I love Dave Chappelle, but I'm not gonna put him on the walls in my school. He was like, I love Eddie Murphy. I think Eddie Murphy is like right under Richard Pryor. He said Eddie Murphy's not going on the wall. It's because these men went off and started building legacies with non-black people. So that's what he was saying. It wasn't saying that.
I mean, I know what he's saying. I'm gonna say this. Like I said, I think he need to will it in if he wants a more receptive. It's got to be some balance. He is a little too extreme to the Pan-Africanism and all that stuff. I mean, but the brother be preaching some knowledge sometimes. Sometimes he all over the place.
Sometimes he does, but you have to understand that if someone else comes with similar messages, we'll kind of look at them weird but just because it's supposed to be black excellence, we're okay with it.
He got to mix his messages. It sometimes it just don't. And Killer Mike has the same problem. Killer Mike.
I don't rock with him.
You don't rock with Killer Mike?
No. I don't know Killer's Mike message. I'm talking about Umar.
Oh, okay. No, I don't rock with Umar. I respect some of his points, but I can find respect in a lot of people's points if they make a good point. That don't mean I stand for what you stand for. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Umar Johnson. But I did see some of the clips you're talking about, Keith. I meant to watch that Breakfast Club interview. So I probably will tomorrow at work. But anyway, welcome to the show. We might, what I'm saying? I see that we got some diverse minds up here. We might look at doing another podcast where we can explore some of these ideas and thoughts.
I'm down with that. I don't mind making black people mad at me.
Black people? I think you want to make everybody. I hope it's balanced.
Well, it's the black people who think that you should only vote black, and if you ain't voting black, then you ain't voting for the people.
Okay.
And I don't mind making those type of people upset because that's not the kind of thinking that bringing people together. But neither here nor there.
I thought you was finna be Stephen A. Smith for 2 seconds. He better not. They better not be. Remember OJ? I'm like, stop it.
That's crazy.
I'm like that dude. If you can sit up here and give the Cowboys owner a pass, bruh, you need to sit down and hush. You made all excuses for what's his name with the Cowboys? The owner,
Jimmy.
Huh?
Jimmy. Jimmy. Not Jimmy. It's not Jimmy. Jimmy was the head coach. That's what's his old?
It'll
old
come to
name?
me. It'll come to me in a second. But anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. But yeah. So welcome to the show. I got you thinking. He said, "Who you date is political, and I'm not as a person who dates out." Wait a minute. Who you date is political, and I'm talking as a person who dates outside the race. Okay. I don't know why it's political, but I mean, Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
I want to make sure we get her right. She said, "Who's dated I don't think she do that no more because
She
she's
said
political.
who you date is political. And I'm talking as a person who's dated. Oh, okay, I got you. Said who's dated.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not saying, but she's not saying she won't again. She's just saying I have dated both, and so that's what I took what she was saying. I don't want no parts.
I said about that show that you was talking about we should do. She said
Okay,
she
she said I
don't
want no part. Nina, come on now, you a teacher. You can come and dialogue with us on that real side of life. Anyway, I won't mess with you, Nia. But welcome to the show. We are excited to be here. Got a lot to discuss. Man, oh man, if I could pull y'all into the comment section today, I'd be like, I'm done with this conversation. I was at work like, that's it. I'm done. So we going to pull y'all into me and Keith, who be starting stuff and then run, and then K-Bum take the baton like, who doing a relay? Why I'm the only one running into my lane by myself? Like, why this relay? Who running this relay?
Let me explain what happened. I didn't run. I went and got my eyes dilated.
Oh,
I couldn't see the chat no more. I had when I got back to the office, I kind of blew up my screen so I could read what y'all was saying, but I definitely didn't run. I got my eyes dilated.
Okay, how you doing now?
Oh man, everything bright, but I'm good.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I'm caught up on the Acolyte. How y'all feeling about the Acolyte?
I haven't seen the episode from this week, but I've seen every episode up to then. And personally, I've been enjoying the little mystery that they've kind of dangled in front of us. I think the acting is really good, to be honest. I'm kind of person, and probably Keith is the same way because he does plays as well. I really pay attention to acting as well. And if it's questionable and off, it kind of bothers me with the show. But I think the acting is on point. I've liked the little mystery. I like the back and forth, the symmetry, symmetry that they've had with the series with May and Osha, and how they've kind of had the light and the dark play off each other. So I haven't had any real issue with the series. I know other people have definitely expressed their issues, but as far as episode 6, I haven't had a real issue with the series.
I don't necessarily have an issue. I think the acting is depending on who you talking about. I do feel like I think like who's the girl that's playing May and what's the other girl? Osha. Yeah. I think
Amanda Stein.
Sometimes her acting is good. Sometimes it's not. I think where I was about to. Well, what I know, what I think, I know what I was about to say was I feel like I already know the plot. I already know the secret. I think because of you, I believe that I know the secret. I believe how they're painting this. You know how the scripture talks about we call good evil and evil good. I think that's. I think that's what they about to do. And but anyway, yeah. So
I kind of looked at it too.
And I don't know if I like that. That's the only part that I was like, I don't know if I like what I feel like they about to go with this. But we'll see. But I enjoyed it all. Go ahead, K-Bun.
Which episode was it? Episode 5 or 6 where they had the big battle?
That was 5.
That was 5. Yeah, that was 5.
Can we say this is the most fighting I've seen in Star Wars in a long time? Like just lightsabers.
I enjoyed the fight.
I think
I was like, that was brutal.
He put in that work too.
Yeah, I think it's the best fighting. I think it's the best choreographed fighting in Star Wars we've ever seen. I mean, it actually had martial arts that looks legit. So for me, it's the best. If we're just talking about action, fighting, choreographed fighting scenes, I think it's the best one we've ever seen. To be honest with you, I can't think of one that's better.
Hey, I can't even. What? Star Wars Episode 3. Maybe they will say that one with Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was
good. That was good. But this right here was a lot more brutal though.
Well, I guess where I'm gauging it from is not. I'm not saying it's the most epic. I'm saying it's the best choreographed. Meaning, when you see martial arts kicks fight, that scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan is epic. But I can't say the fighting is.
Well, he did do a lot of behind the back type of moves, like Hayden Christensen put in some work.
Yeah,
on some of those fight scenes,
but
and I gotta give some credit.
These scenes look like some out of a martial arts movie. That's what I'm saying. Like it to me is it's the best. Honestly, like even from the first episode all the way through, the fighting has been immaculate. But I feel like I can see this where it's going. I don't know if I'm feeling if they go there. I'm like I don't know if I'm gonna like that, but. That's too much of a departure from what we've always understood about the Force and the Jedi. So that's where I'm curious if they really gonna do that. Good, evil, good. I'm not gonna feel that. But it is good. I'm enjoying it. I also am caught up on House of Dragons, bro. That's a good one. That's a good watching right there.
I've only seen the first episode. I still gotta get caught
up. Man, K-Bone, you gotta hurry up, man. I actually call you on the hip, like, bro, we gotta talk about this. That's good. So anyway, I'm gonna say this, man. Godzilla versus King Kong, the second one is trash. It's on HBO. I actually started watching. I was like, man, this was really garbage. This is garbage. I'm not gonna say Monster Zero is as great as everybody tried to make it be. It's cool. But this one is trash. I can't front. It was. I don't know why they even watched that. That's trash, man.
The one that's on Netflix.
Yeah, Monster Zero.
That was actually minus one. That's it.
-1.
That was actually a good movie. That was really.
It's not bad. I'm saying it's not bad. It's not as great as everybody was trying to make it, but it's not bad at all. But I still feel like Godzilla versus Kong, the first one, is the best one I've seen so far. This new one that is stupid. I was watching, I was like, man, this is trash. But anyway, y'all ain't here to hear about that. Anything else, y'all want to get into these, what you been gaming on? Because I got a lot to say about a particular game. Keith, we were supposed to bring this topic up too. We can talk about it on my What You Been Gaming On, Keith. Keith, I know.
So we going there.
Yeah, because I'm going. I gotta say some stuff. Keith, you gotta let me say what I feel, man. Just let me say it. So anyway, we're gonna go into What You Been Gaming On, and here we go. Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On. Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right, so who wants to go first on what you've been gaming on? Who wants to take? You got all these eyes out. There's gonna be a lot of banter on tonight on a few topics, so you might well get ready for it. But who want to go first on tonight?
I'll go first. Oh man, I've been playing a lot of the same old games. Mario Superstar Saga on the NOS, on the GBA Game Boy Advance. Still liking it. Still liking the fact that there's like actual Mario with story. Kind of really anticipating the new Mario and Luigi game. Again, I want to reiterate: if you want story in your Mario game, you got to try some of these Mario RPG games. If you want paper thin Mario, keep playing Odyssey. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying if you want story in your Mario games. All up in the video. You know what I'm saying? Come to Death Row. No, I'm sorry. With all this conversation about Metroid, you know, I restarted playing Metroid Dread. I just beat the guy with I can't remember the name, with the pink blast that comes out of his mouth. I just beat that. He was giving me the work last
Again, the
night.
pink blast that come out of his mouth.
The
Is he
one that
clinking
it's
to
like
the wall?
the one that clings to the walls. Yeah, I just beat that again.
I can't think of his name right now.
He was putting that work on me because I couldn't remember how to beat him. I was like, how you beat this? But finally beat him.
I'm not going back through that game no more.
No, I think that's why I started playing that game again because K-Bun was like the controls. I was like, am I tripping? So I went back to play it.
No controls tight.
The controls are tight to me.
Yeah,
they make sense to me, but different strokes, different folks.
Now K-Bone tripping off that one, man. I'm sorry, K-Bone, you tripping on that one.
Yeah. You have your opinion. I have my opinion, so you can call it tripping all you want.
I said
But
it's my opinion.
I definitely put hours into Prince of Persia, and playing this game, it just feels different. Like I said, I don't have the nostalgia of playing this game first, and so playing that game first and come to this, it feels different, and I'm not a fan of it. Teach their own.
I push back on the whole nostalgia is the reason. I think it's just tighter. I think
No,
when you
no,
hit.
not saying nostalgia is the reason, but when
Oh,
you
okay.
do something first and then you do something second, you normally feel more comfortable with the thing that you did first. I'm not saying this is not a nostalgia argument.
I got you, but I would argue that we have played games that play like Prince of Persia before. That Prince of Persia wasn't doing anything so outside the box that made it unique. So I feel like it's more floaty than Dread. That's all. I think. I bet you that's what Keith would say too. It's more floaty.
I don't remember. I had to play it again, the demo, to give a real. Since he brought that up, because I did when I played it the first time, I was just like, oh, so much fighting, not enough backtracking. But
oh Lord, don't do that. Don't do that. You already trying to open the preview of what I'm going. Stop it, Keith. Go ahead and make your point.
All right. But also, I just want to say this: arguably, Ori and the Blind Forest, or Will of the Wisp, are two of the arguably the best Metroidvania games out there. Arguably, I'm not going to argue that, but arguably, especially in sales, if you want to talk about sale numbers, they've sold the most out of all of them. The other game I wanted to start playing again was Metroid Prime Remaster, because of recent conversations, but also because I never played that game playing it on hard. So I wanted to see, because I never played Metroid Prime on the highest difficulty level, and I wanted to see if I could get through it. And so far, I've been getting through it just fine. Little light backtracking, not too much. You know what I'm saying? Just going back, getting items. Just building my Samus. But you know how it is playing Metroid. Has there anything else I played? I I did get a little gift. I got the game The Fall was gifted to me. Shout out to the video game her. She gifted me The Fall. I haven't played that yet.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I had it on the Wii U, and I didn't finish it. I didn't finish a lot of games on the Wii U. What else? I want to say that's all I've narrowed it down to. So those 3 games is really all I've been playing. So
okay, you done backtracking?
no, I need some more. I gotta go.
Okay,
find
I'm just
some more
making
stuff.
sure. You done with the backtracking on there. So, K-Bum, it's your floor, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Get these tight controls in. Come on, bruh. It's gonna be one of them episodes, y'all. It's gonna be one of them episodes. Go ahead, K-Bum.
What I've been gaming on. So I I did so well. I did so well. But I I have to tell everyone I have fallen. I have fallen from grace. On the words of Eddie Murdy, I have stolen from my brother. Please page me. Um, I went back and played Overwatch. Wasn't my fault.
We knew you was going
they
back.
released a new
We knew you
skin.
was going back.
They released a new skin. Not my fault. As I put in the chat, they released the Transformer skin. and I wanted to go in there and check it out. And they actually did a huge patch to Tanks, which is the character that I like to play the subtype I like to play the most. And I went in there to buy the Transformer skins and saw that they were $25 a pop, and I said absolutely not. So I didn't do that. But I did check out the gameplay, and it plays much better. I'm actually pretty surprised. I didn't have a lot of the issues that I had previously with playing the game. I actually had what you would call fun. So we'll
Oh,
see. So we'll see if I pick it back up. College football comes out next week, so I doubt that Overwatch will get too much clock going forward after next week. It's going to be college football time, but yeah, it did feel better. I do have to say that they did a good fix to the some of the gameplay. So I've been playing that, but there's some other games I had to tell that because that's my shame. I had to get that one out the way because your boy has been playing some other games. So I wanted to try a new game, so I got a chance to play it. I played the demo and I actually liked the demo. I've been playing Stellar Blade.
hey,
I put about I think 3 to 4 hours of Stellar Blade, maybe a little bit more than 4 hours. I have to go and check the PlayStation, but a couple hours of Stellar Blade, and initially enjoyed it. Thought it was fun. Following along with the story. Again, I love story. Following along with the story and the gameplay, and then all of a sudden it got boring. There's a part of the game where it just the pacing is just terrible. That's a really slow piece of the game where it just comes to a screeching halt. And I've been having trouble kind of getting back into it since the pace was interrupted. And the new monsters that I've been facing, man, has been putting that work on me. Good lord. It is a Souls type game, so it has the same type of setup where you have to find the little save stations, and then if you decide to heal at the save station, it does refresh all the enemies on the battlefield. So you have to take that in consideration. There is a delay between clicking the heal button. Sorry, there's an animation between clicking the heal and actually healing. And a lot of times in that delay, you can die if you're hit. And I've experienced that, which is it'll get a little frustrating. And this game is really Japanese, and they just really show how Japanese they are. In some of the scenes, and it is very it's cringy. Some of um, the acting and some of the scenes that play out. It's very cringeworthy. So, but we'll see if I can get back into it. I've been trying to get back into it, but I've been playing some other things too. Like the homie's been still playing 2K, so I've been playing that and a little Overwatch. So we're doing that. But the last game I've been playing on, and this game I've been playing when not on my PlayStation, when I'm not in front of my screen, and I have been dabbling in, and I know this is not a mainline game, but I've been dabbling and playing in Link's Awakening. I actually got
hold
it
on,
from.
hold
K-Bro is
on.
shocking me right now, man.
Wait a minute.
This
Hold
dude
on.
done played Dread. This dude done played the Switch.
Wait,
He done
what?
found Dusted Off. Now we got Link's
Hold on.
Awakening. Okay,
Let me
what's
turn
going
my light
on
on.
here?
Let me turn my light on. Who talking? Who is
That's what
this?
I'm like. What's going on here? This is
What's going on?
what is yeah.
I,
This is shocking.
I wanted to give it a try, and I what drew me to the game was how it looked. I thought it looked very clean, and I thought the graphics looked very nice. Um, I thought they did a really good job. I know it was previously with a Game Boy game, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that, and it was given updated graphics, and I really like it. Really appealed to me visually first, so I wanted to give it a try. And so I've put 3 to 4 hours, maybe a
Wow.
little bit more,
This
That's a
is
good chunk
uh,
of
crazy.
time.
Yes.
into this game, and
You not
and
liking
it's
it.
a little boring. It's a little boring.
I knew he
Ah,
was gonna say it.
there it
I
was.
knew it was. I
Ah,
was waiting for it.
It's a little boring. I'm gonna be honest. Again, you guys have to understand what kind of player I am. I am a story person, and the way that the story is delivered to you is just oh.
K-Ball, read what DJ Fanatic said.
What he say? What he say? Am I on the right podcast? Is that that's funny?
Shouts out to you, DJ Fanatic.
But
Cherry man, welcome to your show as well. All
I'm
right,
just
go
saying.
ahead.
I am willing to play games that I may not like because I want to try it. I want to see maybe that's how I fell in love with The Witcher. Witcher was a game that I looked at and I'm like it has elements that I don't like. I don't like RPGs. I don't like long games. I don't like open world. But I
And
tried it
medieval, right?
anyway.
Ain't medieval another one you don't like?
You say what?
Medieval.
Medieval. Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought.
medieval. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
The fantasy
yeah, the
setting.
fantasy,
I
right?
didn't like the fantasy setting, but I tried it anyway and fell in love with it. So I'm open to play games that I may not like because I want to give it a try. So I gave Link's Awakening a try, and I like I said I put a good amount of time into Link's Awakening, and I've been playing it. The combat is just very simple for now. It may change. It may get more dynamic. The combat is very simple right now. You have a shield, you have a sword. You can, and then you keep running to the same dumb enemies, and you kill them the same way every
Yeah.
time. There's no really dynamic in that, but it's just there's nothing really to make me play more. I will say this: I understand some of your not geek out moments, but some of the moments that made you enjoy Breath of the Wild more, especially when it comes to sound. That some of the sounds that you hear is a very what I'm gonna look
Nostalgic.
for
Nostalgic.
nostalgic sound
Yeah.
that you hear in Breath of the Wild. Because I'm like, oh, these are the same kind of sounds I heard in Breath of the Wild when I would discover something or I would pick something up or it's the same sound. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I understand. I understand why it would kind of, and I'm not throwing shade, but why it would hit some of those nostalgia feels because it's something that you've been playing. Like, again, I didn't grow up playing two D Zelda. I didn't. I didn't grow up playing 2D Zelda. So I don't have any of that prior knowledge or prior good feeling to 2D Zelda. I didn't play it. It wasn't my cup of tea. Didn't play it back then. Like I said, I'm trying to get into it. It just it's a little boring, like because of the enemy types and the gameplay and the lack of story, the lack of talking, reading text. It's none of those are my go tos that I enjoy in gaming. But I'm giving it a try. I'm expanding the world. I'm getting through. I'm trying the potions and the jumps and stuff like that. So I'm gonna play a little bit more. Especially when I'm not in front of my big screen, I'm gonna give it some more. I'm not gonna just stop after 3 4 hours. I'm gonna give it a little bit more game time. See how far I can get in the story before I'm completely just done with it, or maybe something twists and I like it. But no, I've been trying. I've been stepping out there and trying some new games. And actually, like I game fly this game, so I have the full game to try. So that's what I'm gonna do to the most before I'm just completely say I'm done. I would play this more than Dread, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm giving it a try, so we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
Oh,
Can I
can I
say
say?
this real quick? And I'll give
I
it to
think
you,
we both need to
Keith.
say something.
All right. Just for clarity, K Bum, I never played the 2D Zeldas either. I played them, but I never got into them. I didn't get into Zelda until Ocarina of Time. So my first time completing a 2D over the top Zelda game was the game you were referring to on the Switch. So my appreciation for it was to see where the games that I love, Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword, all that, where they got the roots from. So yeah, so it wasn't nostalgic for me. It was I had never played it, so it was a little slow at the beginning. I admit, I agree with you. It's slow at the beginning, but I thought the art style really kept me kind of engaged. And as you go through it, it kind of the puzzles and stuff. It ain't gonna never be anywhere you're gonna be stuck, I don't think. But as you get more power ups and explore a little bit more, I think you might get an itch to continue. I'm not sure.
I hope so. Like I said, I'm willing to give it a try. I'm not running away yet, but it It's losing steam. I'll say that.
Go ahead, Keith. You was finna say something?
Yeah. First of all, shout out to K-Bun for trying these games. I'm proud
I
of
feel
you,
like
brother.
these
You
are
know what
subtle
I'm saying?
digs at me every time y'all shout out to K-Bun for trying it. Go ahead. I'm
No,
listening.
he's not a Nintendo gamer.
I'm just these digs. I feel like I'm
No,
constantly getting
Man, let
man,
me
dug
have my
on.
no,
moment, bro. Stop making it about you. Let me
no.
have my
Oh, forget
moment.
you. Forget you. No, go ahead, man.
That's just gonna be that podcast, I guess. Okay.
we we going there tonight, people. No, what I wanted to say was I'm probably going to play Metal Gear Solid 3 because I know that's something that you love, and I'm not really the biggest Metal Gear Solid, so I'm gonna try that out. But I wanted to say Fire Emblem. I played Fire Emblem back in the day, but not much. I didn't play much of it. But I wonder if you would get into Fire Emblem because if you can play what's that card game that you play? It was a Marvel card game.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
uh,
No.
he said
No.
Marvel, man. Just pay
Marvel.
attention.
I thought I heard card game. I really didn't
That
hold
was
on to Marvel.
what's the name of that? Not
Marvel
Legends.
something.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it was the one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was
Yeah.
a card based game.
Yeah. If you can play that, you might be able to get in. You might get into what did I say, Fire Emblem. Because
It, it,
it's this voice acting is heavy on
but is it too Japanese?
it might be. It might be too
It might be
Japanese.
too
It
Japanese
might
for
be.
me.
I ain't gonna lie. I
So
ain't
you don't
gonna
really get
lie.
into anime, do you, K-Bum? You don't like
I don't really watch anime. No,
introspection
I don't.
and when they
I
I don't really.
over
It's cringy. It's
over
cringy. Like
explain, over break
I'm watching
down.
Demon Slayer. I'm watching Demon Slayer now.
Fire.
And I'm watching a new series called Kaiju 8, number 8. I'm
Never heard of that
watching
one.
those series,
I know what you're talking about.
I watched Dragon Ball Z.
I got
And I
back at
got
Dragon Ball Z last night. I was watching it on was it Hulu? Yeah, I think I was watching it on Hulu, and I watched the Golden Frieza saga. You know, you had the movie, then you had the saga. That mess was trash. I'm not going to even front.
Oh, Nia
Absolute
said
trash.
it might not be super Japanese after all. I don't know.
Okay.
But,
we'll see.
I think if you're gonna,
I don't know. That's Nia's not business. K-Bun, that still might be too far to the east. So anything else before I go? Because I want to give us ample time to hit these topics.
No,
So,
that's it. I just wanted to say I
Okay,
thought that
so
was cool that I've been playing some of those other games to kind of let y'all guys know.
all right, so I've been getting a little gaming in, not much. Still on the Street Fighters. Was picking that up, was playing that, and I played a few other games, but they more insignificant. But the game that I've been putting a lot of time in has been Metroid Prime Remaster.
Let's go,
Switch.
baby. Let's go.
I hit the claps on that. All right. So I have collected all the artifacts.
Yes.
And I defeated Metal Ridley. And I go down to get to Metroid Prime because I already know the story. And I got a bone to pick. Now, y'all heard me last week kind of complain about the egregious amount of backtracking that this game requires of you to literally go through the whole stage at least 4 or 5 times just to get items and to go back and then track down which elevator, which this and which that to go to. And that was kind of chorey and kind of disengaging to me, especially when you really got to go through the whole stage to get to the spot you want to get to. But I dredged and pushed through that with the aid of YouTube. I'm not gonna front. I did not. I gave up on trying to do it. I just, hey, YouTube, where do I go?
Brother, it's a 20-year-old game. Nobody fought you. It's a
I ain't mad at it. If I was getting faulted, I didn't care. But this is where I have a problem. Okay, so you get in, you get inside of here, and you gotta you gotta get up to the door. I think you gotta climb up to go down. This is kind of stupid. You climb up because when you fight Metroid Prime, it goes down down, 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 but you gotta climb up to get to. And in this room is a whole bunch of Metroids. Now, I've come across Metroids all throughout the game. This is not the first time I've seen a Metroid. I've killed these Metroids. 3, 4, 5. I kill them. I clear the room and I climb up to where I need to get to, and I go and I do, and I come back through. They respawn. I kill them again. Go down to the door wherever I got to go. I come back through. They respawn. I kill them again. No problem. All this backtracking. All this unnecessary back and forth. But I did it. But in this particular room, Nintendo decides to introduce a new Metroid that constantly respawns the whole time. And now it wants to introduce the different colors, the yellow, the purple, the red. I don't know what color this one is. Is it white? Is it pale white? Well, don't shoot it because it's going to multiply. And it just became a nuisance. And I feel like this was a fatal flaw in this title, with the having to change the canon to match the color of all these Metroids. I know it's prepping you for Metroid Prime and the fact you're going to have to change colors off the cuff because it's going to change colors, but it's stupid to put you in a room where you have to climb and jump on small platforms with respawning, infinite respawning Metroids, constantly impeding your progress. It was just a poor design. And it ticked me off. I got to Metroid Prime. I could have beat her. I did the last part. I didn't figure out that I had to stand in a little puddle and shoot her. That's the part I messed up on. I died figuring that out. Don't blame it on your boy. I'll go back and kill her the next time because I figured it out towards the end, but by that time I had already got blew up too much to beat her or it. So I was going back to fight to get through it because you got to start over and go through this all again. I got so ticked that I stopped playing. Nia, I'm not going to play Halo. I'm going to beat Metroid Prime Remastered. I don't have an Xbox to go play Halo. Let me have my rant about a great game. Is Metroid Prime a great game? Yes, it is. It's not perfect, though. And I can understand why people don't play it. I understand now. I never, to this point, understood why Metroid does not have huge sales. I do now. I didn't even figure this out with Metroid Dread because it didn't bother me that much. I enjoyed Metroid Dread. That's why I pushed back at K-Bone when he says he doesn't like Metroid Dread because I'm shocked that he doesn't like it and he likes Prince of Persia. But I don't like a lot of what Prime is asking you to do. And I'm hoping to God that Metroid Prime 4 doesn't do this because some of this stuff is absolutely annoying. If that makes my Nintendo card be revoked, here it is. Because I am tired of these Metroids just responding for respawning's sake and having to change colors while jumping on platforms. It is just the most stupidest thing in the world to me. If everybody hate playing Souls game, just go to this stage and see how fast you get annoyed with this stage. Now, that's my rant. Anybody that has a response, the floor is yours, and then we go into your topics.
Oh my gosh, brother, what's going on? No, we stop. Man, that's just the challenge of the game. You have to move fast in that portion. You cannot stay there and shoot. Did you change the button layout like I told you?
No, I didn't know that at the time. By that time I had quit, and it was like I do this when I get some free time. I'm gonna beat it. I could have. I just got tired of. And yeah, you gotta push X. That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Keith. K-Bum, the control, you have to push X. Now you got you got your analog stick. That's what's controlling Samus, right? The jump, and then you got your other analog stick controlling the camera, and you got to jump on from a first person's perspective onto all these miniature platforms, right? But you got to shoot all this stuff that requires you to take your hand off of the analog stick to push X on your button and push whatever arrow is connected to your cannon on the D-pad. And you're supposed to do all this while you're dealing with infinite responding Metroids that will not leave you alone.
It's just the challenge of the game, brother.
So the question is, do I like Metroidvania? I'm going to go on a limb and say I might not. I played a lot of Metroidvania games and I never had an issue. I like Guacamelee. I like Ori. I like a lot of these Metroidvania type games. I like Metroid Dread. I don't like it in 3D. I don't like it in 3D.
They say Star Wars, the new Star Wars series, the Jedi series.
Yeah,
those are Metroid Dread.
It's Metroid, and I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't have a problem with it near as much as I'm having with this one. And I know this is the first.
Backtracking.
Yeah, I know this is the first of the 3D, and they figuring it out. But some of this stuff doesn't age well. I'm sorry. I lost a lot of views on that. We was up at 9, they done dropped. They're like, there's no Metroid Sander. Well, you're getting it today. So anyway,
So it's funny that he can have his slander and talk about, but don't dare let me talk about the controls. My opinion doesn't matter.
No, that ain't the case. That is not
but
the case.
You can stand on this hill.
maybe that's it. I may be a little hypocrite right now.
You felt some type of way when I talked about Dread.
No, I thought when you compared it to
you felt some type of way. You still felt some type of way. Yeah, you did.
I did. I
felt some type of way with both of y'all.
Yeah, Keith. I thought Keith was gonna go harder. So anyway,
no, I ain't gonna go hard. I'm gonna let you have it, man. You at least still thugging it out. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna thug it out and finish it. I'm gonna finish. I'm in finish it mode. I'm dreading it out. I'm going to Metroid Prime it, remaster it out, and then I'm going to Survivor it out, and then I'm going to try to Elden Ring it out. But we got to get all these games out first. So with that being said,
I don't see it.
With that being said, he's insane for that. I'm just gonna have to be insane. I don't care. I think nostalgia is letting y'all holding that game up for some of these elements. I said the game is good. I enjoy it. That's why I'm still playing it, because it is great. But the elements, the key words, certain elements are not. That's what I said. I didn't say the game is trash. I said certain elements in the game is trash and cheap. I think that's cheap. I think that's a cheap. I know it's trying to train you for changing the weapons, but it's cheap to me. But anyway.
No, wait, no. I'm glad you said that. I gotta bring this to the cast. You said that game was inconsiderate. What did you mean by that?
It is okay. What I just said. Take the controls. Now, I didn't know you could change the controls to make it easier to change between these weapons. But when you got to hold X, you only got 2 hands, man, 2 thumbs. When you got to hold X and take your hand off of the analog stick to change the button to the right weapon, only for the other Metroid Prime to jump in front of the one you just changed to, so you got to change back. Bro, that's inconsiderate of you. In that capacity, it's not considerate. Now, on the original, I don't think it was controlling like that. I think you could just push the D-pad and it changed. But on the controls here, you got it, because it didn't have dual analog, you got it. They added this inconvenience, which you got to hold X to do it. So sometimes it doesn't even register.
It was the C stick. You used the C stick to change your controls on the original, and like you just said, but the thing is, it wasn't dual analog. So when you move Samus, you move the camera at the same time. So it was a little different. I think you can still use those classic controls. I wouldn't do it, but
I'm too used to what I got right now. I'm just gonna see if I can, whatever you said I could change it to, I'm going to go in there and change that. But no, we here. I'm dreaded through this whole Prime game. I'm here. I'm finna kill Metroid Prime. I'm finna see Samus with her helmet off, and that's it. And I'm done. and I shall not, like you, play hard, difficult, easy. I'm done with Prime. So if it ain't got a 4 behind it, I'm not playing it. So that's where I'm at with it. So anyway, I like it though. I enjoy Metro Prime. So I don't think the game is trash. It's not trash. It's a great game with stupid elements in it that I feel like I understand why it only moves 1 million plus. I get it now. This is not for everybody. And I think some of this stuff may be holding it back. But, I already had that argument last week, so we're not going back there. So where we want to go first? Where we want to go first?
Keep no backtracking because we talked about it last week. No backtracking.
No backtracking. So we got 3 subjects.
Microsoft.
We're gonna hold EMIO. Is it
Microsoft.
EMIO? Yeah. Okay. K-Ball. All right. Microsoft. Okay.
Microsoft.
So let's set this up. So as you know, Game Pass has been the basically the undergirding aspect of Microsoft's online service for the Xbox Series X and S. Game Pass day one releases has undergirded, has supported, and propped up that online offering. Well, Microsoft also, Phil Spencer and Microsoft said that this wouldn't change, if I'm not mistaken. That Call of Duty and all these new games that are coming, you will still be able to play them day one on Game Pass as if, and making it seem as if they was not going to change anything with that. Well, they have. And we have all these new tiers that we have to discuss. And the question must be asked, has Microsoft undermined the value and the attractiveness of their Game Pass online service? So let's put this in here, and I know K-Bum got a lot to say. Shouts out to K-Bum. I think it was either him or Keith that shared this. So I'm going to pull it in. So we got these different tiers. We have now what they call core. And then they have standard. And then they have the top tier, the creme de la creme, ultimate. And then for Keiths and Nias and all those who have PC, they have PC Game Pass. Free online. And they have all the checks and balances that you get, all the perkages that you get with the offering. So as you look, and I'm going to turn it over to my fellas real quick, at the core offering, you get online console multiplayer. You get the limited category of 25 plus games on console. And we can explore what these means. And you also get membership deals and discounts. But what don't you get is Game Pass, catalog, hundreds of games, day one game editions. You don't get that no more. Perks and discounts on games in the Game Pass library. You don't get EA Play, and you don't get Xbox Cloud Gaming on core. But then when you go to standard, they just add another check mark and let you know that you don't get day one games. You do get Game Pass catalog, but not day one. And you don't get the rest. And then ultimate, everything is there. So the question is this fair? Is this smart? Is this true value? The floor is yours.
I'll let K-Bone go first. Is he there?
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's get into it. Previously, I have been quoted saying that Game Pass is the best value in gaming. I've said that. I've said that on the record. I told people I've said that to whoever, being a Sony fan, I have stated that Game Pass is the best is the best value you can get in all of gaming because of everything it offered. It offered day one games. It offered EA Pass, well, so EA Play, which is all of EA games. And then it was offering Bethesda games day one. It was offering Activision games day one, offering Blizzard games day one, Microsoft Studio games day one, other games that no one wanted to play on Xbox day one. And I said, best value in gaming. And Microsoft criticized Sony when Sony introduced their competitor to Game Pass. Sony said, you know what? Uh, I don't think we're going to do day one games. And everyone said, how dare you? Microsoft said, see, we're better. We offer day one games. Look at us, the best value in gaming. And everyone says, shame on you, Sony, for not offering day one games. How dare you call yourself a Netflix of gaming competitor to Game Pass when you don't offer day one games? Shame on you, sir. Sony said, we think it may impact the quality of our game. So I think we're going to not do that. We'll do almost everything else you guys do, but I think day one games, we're going to hold off on that. All right, guys, is that okay with you guys? All right. And so even then, when Sony held off, I said best value in gaming, Game Pass. Um, Microsoft can't keep that best value in gaming anymore because Microsoft was saying the reason why it was the best is because it offered what no other service did, which is exclusive day one games from their first party studios that no other streaming, no other game of it, no other system or service of its like were able to do. Now they're saying, hey, yeah, you can do that, but you have to give us more money, or you have to jump through these hoops. You standard people, you're gonna get those day one games, but not day one. So I don't know how you call them day one games. And you core players, yeah, you won't get that at all. And not only that, you core players, you're gonna get a catalog of 25 games for you cheapies who don't want to give us your money. Here's 25 games to play. Here's your best value in gaming. Enjoy your $9 a month. You broke. I almost said the wrong word. You broke Negroes. Enjoy
Commentator.
your Give us your $9. Enjoy these 25 plus games. And you broke Negroes on and give us $14 or $15 a month. We're here. Enjoy not getting day one games. And you real players who want to give us all your money, I appreciate you. You can have all of this. Give us our money. And to me it causes game pass to lose some of that best value in gaming. They have tiered it out. They have made the lower versions almost useless. To be completely honest, almost pointless. That's the word I'm looking for. Almost pointless for the lesser versions, because you lose out on those EA games that you were getting for free. You lose out on those Riot game benefits that you were getting. You lose out on those day one games, and depending on the standard or the core, you lose out on the whole gaming catalog of 100 games. And I know it's a tier system, and I know that, but this is not what they sold us. They sold us the end all to be all, which was Game Pass. And what I believe we're seeing is them reeling back and saying that this was not a sustainable service. And we have to find more ways to get more money because we're not growing and we're not able to support, and people are not buying our games. And so we have to find a way to get people to buy our games again. Because you know what, buying games is probably not good for games. And so they said, "Hey, brokies, enjoy Game Pass without games."
Let me do this real quick, K Bum. Let me send a shout out to Lakers 2020. Welcome to the show. Also, Matt Jazz 47. Welcome to the show. So I want to say what Matt said. Well, Lakers 2020 says there needs to be a path to ownership of some games. Otherwise, the whole thing sucks. He also says bumps only worry about Xbox. And then Nia said the brokest. Matty Jazz, Matt. I said Matty Jazz. I'm giving you a new name, bro. Matt Jazz 47 said the pricing model is definitely shows PC gamers getting better Xbox Game Pass than Xbox console gamers. That was a point I was gonna make too. But go ahead.
I agree with that, bro.
Or is it Keith?
No, that's it. Just you broke. He spells more money. And to me, it screams that what they were trying to sell, as far as what was previously known as Game Pass, was not a sustainable solution, and they're losing money by people not buying games. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, think what the last game that came out with Hellblade 2 was like the 34th, like 34 on its debut. It was somewhere like that. It was very low, and people are not buying games. And so that's my take. That was a pretty long take, so I apologize for that take. But that's my take on it. So I yield back my time.
Okay, Keith, what's your take, bro?
I have several different thoughts on this. The last thing that K-Bone said is that they realized that what we have been doing previously has not been sustainable. We aren't growing, so we got to find a way to get the money somehow. And I 1000% agree, which is why you only see, not excluding PC, why you only see one tier allowing for day one Game Pass.
Yep.
I mean, day one games, and that's the ultimate. That's the only reason why that's that way. So they're basically saying, hey, if y'all want to play these games day one, you're going to have to pony up some coins.
Yep.
Cool. Now, someone that did the pricing structure, was that $20 a month? I think they said it's like $240 a year. And I've been seeing people on Twitter reduce this to saying, oh, you guys are going to pay $240 for Call of Duty. Ha 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 ha. Well, if your mind goes there, then you've already kind of missed the point. It's not $240 for one game. There are several games that's coming out this year. So if you break it down, that's $70 for Call of Duty, $140 for Indiana Jones. That's $210 for Avowed, and then you throw in one more game. You've already paid for your year subscription of Game Pass with those 4 games, whatever it is that you want to play, right? Because I'm trying to look at it from a consumer standpoint. Of course, from a business standpoint, they're trying to get their money. Let's raise the PC prices, raise the price on everything. All right, fine. Everybody's doing it. I'm not even going to make a big deal out of that. Everybody's doing it. Sony does it. Netflix does it. Apple does it. You name it. Max does it. Everybody does it. They raise the price because if you want good quality, or in the case of Game Pass, if you want it to be around, you're gonna have to pay.
Okay, that's it.
It was what?
Oh, you must have went out. Go ahead. I was like,
okay.
Stop talking.
No, I wasn't. You think about where Netflix came from and where it is today. It's a completely different Netflix, but they had to keep hiking that price up each time. And I used to be like, man, they keep hiking it up. But I can't deny the quality of streams that I'm getting from Netflix and the consistency I'm getting from Netflix. So you know what I'm saying? But so I try to think about this core and this standard. So when I think about the core, I'm thinking about people who play the Call of Duties or just those 1 or 2 games that they play, the Maddens, the 2Ks. This is for you, the core. Let me make it big for myself again. The core gamer that just needs an online player. They can play with their friends, so on and so forth. I don't understand the standard at all. Because now you're adding games for people to play. honestly, I would just go ahead and get the ultimate, which is what they're probably betting on.
Yep.
If I'm playing these, paying for these games, excuse me, if I'm playing these games in the standard Game Pass catalog, I'm probably going to want the day ones too. Let's just call it a fact. Not a fact, but let's just call it is what it is.
Yep.
So they're probably betting on people to just move up to the ultimate. The standard really doesn't make any sense to me. You understand what I'm saying? So like the core, I get it. Those people who
I
play
don't get the
their
core.
singular games.
I don't
You
get
know,
core. I think standard makes more sense than core.
for a gamer who plays more games. But if you only play like 3 games a year, I'm paying $10 a month for my internet, for not for my internet, but for my online play. If I'm not playing all those games, I don't need the 20, not the 25, but I don't need the Game Pass catalog because I'm not going to play them. So I can just leave that off. But if I'm going to pay for that Game Pass catalog, man, just give me everything. I want the day one. I want the cloud gaming. I want it all because this person is a gamer. So for me, Microsoft obviously, like K-Bum said, they had to pull it back and realize, okay, in order for this thing to be sustainable, we got to charge more. It's unfortunate we're going to do it at this time because I think they said at one point that they weren't raising the prices anymore.
Right, they did.
But I'll say this last thing: if you only want to play certain games, you don't have to be subscribed for the entire year. I said this before on another podcast. You don't have to be subscribed the entire year. If you wait, and if you want to wait, you don't have to. But if you want to wait for Call of Duty, Indiana Jones, Avowed, insert fourth game to come out, and they're all out at that 1 month, you can play that. Pay $20 and play all those games in 1 month if you wanted to. All those games in 1 month. You didn't pay 240. You didn't pay 70 for each. If you want to do it that way. So to
It's
me,
similar to how I do EA Play. I don't usually pay for the whole year. I pay for a couple months that I want to utilize the service, and then that's it.
that's it. That's it. But I'll yield there.
Man, I'll say this, man. I feel like this was always the plan. I believe that the initial idea was to offer it to everybody at a base rate to get them to buy in, experience what it is, get used to it, get accustomed to it. So when you snatch it from them, they feel that they gotta make that jump because they used to it. I just think they plan just didn't play out like they wanted to, and they doing this under umbrella of a lot of different confusion and frustration in their fan base. But I believe this was always going to be what was going to happen because it was never, when we always said how was they going to sustain giving everybody their games day one and date for the price that they was giving it to them for. So I'm not shocked by this. It was the obvious thing they had to do. But it is strange that you're basically giving PC gamers a better deal than your own console owners who bought your console. It's almost like you better off being a Steam Deck owner or a PC or laptop gamer with the Xbox, because on that tier you're not playing for internet. You're getting the 100. You're getting the Game Pass catalog plus day and date. Everything that matters is there for cheaper. Then $2 more than your core? It's crazy. So to me, it was interesting because I saw some comments and I made a comment. And I think I'm gonna pivot on what I put in the chat. As I look at this, I realize that even though it might be the same prices as the tiers of the PlayStation, I don't think the value is the same anymore once you take Game Pass and the catalog away, right? So let's look at this with PlayStation and look at their tiers and check out what you get there. So you got premium.
Do we know the pricing on those? Do we know the pricing on those?
I think everything is just $1 more. I think on X, or $1 less. Am I right?
No. I can. No, I can try to find the pricing.
Ain't premium 19 or 18.99?
I pay yearly, so I don't know the.
I looked it up. I had it up. It's not on this particular one, but I had it up because I was watching it all day. I was actually taking notes. So from what I understand, premium is $18.99. Extra is 13 or 14, and essential is about the same. It's not that different in pricing. But I let K-Bum fact check me on that.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now.
Matt Jazz says, from a consumer standpoint, outside of the U.S., it's too expensive for games you don't own, and I'd rather wait for games to drop in price or buy a different system instead which has better variety. Okay. But anyway, so I got to looking at this, and I took some notes. So when you look at the tiers for PlayStation, Essential has monthly games, online multiplayer, exclusive discounts, exclusive content, cloud storage, share play, PlayStation Plus collection, game help, free shipping direct from PlayStation. Now, some of these things I probably need K-Bum to really explain what some of these are, but it seems like the Essential already offers a little bit more than Core. Because on Core, you don't get cloud nothing, do you? I'm not sure. Like, I don't know.
I didn't see anything on Core for the previous one. I didn't see anything that offered cloud for Xbox.
Okay, so
What do you mean the ultimate offer cloud? Is that what you meant?
Yeah,
ultimate, no. I mean the standard version.
Standard and Core doesn't. That's what I was pointing to. Now, I don't think that's streaming though. That's cloud storage. I don't see, and I don't know, because the way that Sony breaks theirs down is a little bit more transparent than what Microsoft is showing here. Then you look at Extra. Extra is monthly games, online multiplayer, exclusive discounts, exclusive content, cloud storage, share play, PlayStation Plus collection. You get PlayStation Plus collection on Essential. Game help, free shipping direct from PlayStation game catalog. Now, what is game catalog?
Game catalog is the same thing on the Xbox side as in Game Pass catalog. That is the curated list of games that is outside of those day one games that you can play. So that's the Netflix piece of it.
Okay, so that's basically all the games. I think the PlayStation 3 games are stream under the stream, but all the other ones are download.
Games are on the stream.
So
yes,
so that would be the equivalent to Xbox Game Pass catalog, right?
Yes, same thing.
Okay,
so I want to add something.
Go ahead.
The image that you have there, if you actually go to the website, they actually have Ubisoft classics on there. Is that one on there?
On this one, this is what y'all put in the chat. So I pulled up what you had in the chat.
And Ubisoft Classic is similar to EA Classics.
Yeah.
You can get EA that with extra.
Extra. Okay.
Okay. So you don't even get So then you get premium. You get all the same things. What's different is you get the PlayStation Plus collection, game help, free shipping, game catalog, classic catalog, game trail. What's that? I can't see it so small. Is that trials or trials? I don't know what that is.
Trials.
Okay. Trials. And cloud streaming. So it's almost identical, but when you add the fact that PlayStation has a better catalog, Game Pass is what made Game Pass. The day one is what made the value for Game Pass. I think Sony can get away, and I wasn't going to even say this, and I hate that I'm doing it, but I was going to come in here and say I don't see the big difference, but I really do now. When you take Game Pass away or day one away, you really hurt the Game Pass model.
Exactly. It's no longer the best value in gaming now.
No, it's not. And with Sony, it's not even comparable because of the library that Sony has compared to Xbox. It's not even comparable. So taking the day one does really rip out the heart of 2 tiers. It makes
To
2
be
tiers
to be honest
almost
with you,
irrelevant.
level extra is pretty much comparable to their what's that, ultimate. Extra from PlayStation is the middle one.
Right,
It's
I know.
considered
I was
present.
literally saying that's what I was going to
Not
say.
even premium. The extra pretty much has the same.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the game trials is not on there. The PS5 streaming, that's for I think it's a little bit different. And the Sony picture catalogs, like the pretty much extra gives you the same thing that Ultimate does,
And
and
that's what
it's
I
What is
and
Sony's
that
picture
price
catalog?
is $14 a month and $135 a year.
and that's what I was trying to say. I was trying to point out. I just didn't get there because I didn't know one to one how like the Game Pass catalog. I didn't know if that was similar, but yeah, extra is ultimate.
Yep,
What is Sony picture catalog? Movies?
I believe that's movies.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. All right, I'm gonna push back just a little bit. Because I agree with you personally when you said that the catalog on the PlayStation is better. I agree with that. I don't think if it was just my personal taste, of course I'm choosing the PlayStation because I like their games better. But I will say that I don't think we should knock or diminish those random weird games that Microsoft is coming with.
No,
Like,
I wasn't saying that.
Yeah, because like there are some things like since when I got NOS, I've been playing a bunch of stuff that I probably would have never played or didn't play back in the day as a Nintendo fan. I just skipped it, didn't even want to give it a try. And I do want to like say that Microsoft does a lot of great things with indies. I'm not saying Sony doesn't. Uh, they do a lot of great things with indies. Yes, you are getting those day one games in here. That's just just experiences that you probably wouldn't play because they're not the big budgeted AAA games. If you live in that bubble of big budgeted AAA games, then you miss out on a lot of these little smaller fun games because that's the whole point of it all. I thought was we were supposed to have fun. Then there's also the EA Play games. I don't know if PlayStation had that one, but I know they both used to have Ubisoft, but I see now that PlayStation the only one that has Ubisoft. But I don't want to just make it say that as a fact, like, oh, PlayStation just has the better such and such. Because I know I give Microsoft a lot of slander, but recently we all do, and recently my eyes have been open to like, hey, some of these other games are valuable. They may not be, the next, huh?
I'm just saying I appreciate you making that point, but I want to make it clear that I wasn't saying I wasn't trying to allude to Microsoft having a trashy. I just feel like Sony's catalog, if you're looking value for value, I think Sony's catalog, when you go back into those older games, is better. I'm not saying Xbox doesn't have good games there. I just don't think it is comparable one-to-one to Sony's catalog. I just don't.
I agree.
So that's all. That's the only point that I was making with that. I wasn't saying Microsoft catalog is trash. I'm pretty sure I can find a lot of games I play.
Oh, I when I looked at it, there was a whole bunch of games when I first was trying to get into the Game Pass. There was a whole bunch of games that I would have played on the Xbox Game Pass. I don't know how it is now, but they had a lot of good games on there. Definitely.
I think Microsoft needs to rework Standard. I think Standard should get everything but day one. I think you should take day one out.
They don't want you to pick Standard. That's the point.
But I know it's the point.
They don't want to make it too enticing that people actually use it.
I know, but I know what they trying to do. I'm saying, thinking from customers, the customer perspective, and looking at what Sony is doing with their what was it? Extra tier to make Microsoft's tier compete with that. To me, would be to add everything but day one, and that'll make more sense. You with Standard, you get everything but day one, and then if you want day one, fork out another $5 and you get day one with that. And then that standard tier will be equivalent to pretty much Sony's premium. Because Sony ain't giving you day one either. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're trimming it too much. But it's like you said, K-Bum, it's for the purpose of making you feel like the only value is Ultimate. And that's where it is. But to then turn around and give PC gamers, because they don't have that and that's what's messing it up, is you turn around and give PC gamers who don't even have to pay for online, they get all this. You give them everything but the limited 25 game, but they get day one, they get the Game Pass collection, which makes the 25 irrelevant.
Brother, that's because over here on PC, we gangsters, you don't want to give the games, we just gonna take the games. So what you want to do?
That, and they don't have the same investment. You gotta make it valuable for them because they don't need you.
They don't.
So because Sony doesn't even have a PC tier. So to me, to be more fair to their base, their fan base that owns the Xbox box, you should put some more check marks on some of these on the core and standard. I think standard should have everything but day one. I think core should have everything but EA Play, Riot, cloud gaming. I think they should also have the catalog, the Xbox Game Pass catalog. So I don't know. This is kind of like K-Bone, you hit it on the nail. They trying to force you to buy Ultimate.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So ain't no other way to slice it. Anything else on this? So I guess we all saying it has, outside of Ultimate, it has pretty much undermined the value.
Yeah.
If you don't have a PC or Ultimate.
That's they trying to get you on Ultimate. But also I do want to point out that Game Pass went to Fire Sticks too. So I think
cloud gaming did. You're right. You're right. I put that in the chat, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you can actually play cloud gaming on the Fire Stick, which I think is dope because that again goes through their whole play anywhere. Which they don't need an actual console. I think that's dope though. I think that was a cool thing they did.
Okay. So, any more thoughts on this, or are we moving on?
Nintendo has been sitting on Mario Galaxy 3 for so long that
quiet.
Nintendo has been.
I've said my piece. I made my peace with it.
Nintendo has been sitting on.
Okay, so all right, so let's move on. I minus these. We might come back. I don't know. So the next topic we got to talk about is AstroBot. Now this came, and I'm going to play the video that sparked this conversation. I saw this as a short on YouTube, and I put it up in the chat room because I thought, it was a good take. Nothing serious, but it, how nothing serious can always stir up a very opinionated conversation. So as y'all know, AstroBot is the actual game is coming. When is that game coming? Not too long from now. And y'all know that I praised to the heavens the AstroBot demo on the PlayStation 5. Actually, it played a part in me choosing the PlayStation 5 and buying the PlayStation 5. Had AstroBot not been there, I probably would not have bought the PlayStation 5 when I bought it. Miles Morales was not why I bought the PlayStation 5. It was just an addition. It was icing. AstroBot was what I wanted to play. That demo lived up to everything that I saw in the trailer for it, in the showcase for it. Everything that it showed, it lived up. Matter of fact, it far exceeded my expectations. So of course, I'm hyped for them actually making a
I
full-fledged game, right? So, but the conversation about this game seems to always pull in Nintendo and this comparison. And the question is it fair to consistently compare Astrobot to Nintendo games? Is Astrobot being discredited or not given enough credit for his own creation? Or are we giving Nintendo titles too much credit as if Astrobot doesn't have its own creativity? So I'm going to play this video, then we're going to open up the floor for discussion, and then we'll get to our last topic. So I hope I can get all this in here. I might have to shrink this up. But anyway, so let me see. So let me know if y'all see this or not. Well, y'all can at least hear it. But
on Mario Galaxy 3.
So here it is.
Nintendo has been sitting on Mario Galaxy 3 for so long that Sony finally just decided to do it themselves with their own mascot, Astrobot. Honestly though, this game feels like it's just taking shots at every single major Nintendo IP. Like we got Mario Sunshine, Star Fox, Kirby, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Splatoon, Metroid, ARMS? Like, really the only thing missing here is Pikmin? Nintendo has been sitting on Mario Galaxy 3 for so long that Sony finally just decided to do it themselves.
So that was what he said. He basically said that Nintendo, that I'm tripping. Astrobot basically is borrowing heavily from Nintendo titles, and a lot of its influences is from Nintendo. And the question is this unfair to Astrobot? Do we always have to credit Nintendo or point to Nintendo titles for the inspiration? Could these inspirations be coming elsewhere? So I'm going to open the floor. First question is it unfair? Let's just tackle that part. Then we can get into the influence part. Is it unfair to Astrobot and the developers to only give credit to Nintendo titles as if Astrobot had no ideal of their own? Floor is yours.
It's understandable, but it's not fair.
Okay.
It's understandable when you look at this game. Like I won't deny that. Like when you see it, you instantly think Nintendo. But I think it's unfair to always reduce others' work or art to Nintendo, because, like you said, Astro was what made you want to get the PlayStation 5 because of the things it was doing. It was doing things that you've never done before. So to reduce it to something that you've never experienced before, it's crazy. So I think we should give Astro its praise and flowers for doing what it does without even having to bring in Nintendo into the conversation, which I agree is understandable.
Okay. K-Bomb, same question. Is it unfair to Astrobot? We not talking about is it true or not yet. Just is it fair? So that's the question.
It's funny because you can just put a check mark by Keith's answer, and that would be my answer. Because I was thinking, I'm here thinking, and I'm saying to myself, I understand why the comparison is there. I understand, completely understand. Nintendo has platformers in a chokehold. And anytime you see a platformer and a successful platformer, and actually, a first party guy take on platforming, your first thought is, wow, they're doing a Mario, right? Any almost majority of these type of platforms is instantly compared to Mario, like instant. So I understand the comparison, but I do not think it's fair. I think Astrobot is trying to swim in their own lane. They have their own uniqueness to them, their own flair to them, and yeah, there's definitely inspiration that everyone steals from everyone. Even Nintendo stole Mario from another platformer. But that's kind of how the game industry works. You see what others are doing, and then you take a little that works for you, and you leave out what doesn't work for you, and then either you take it and copy and paste it, or you maybe if you do copy and paste it, you add your flair to it, or you use it as inspiration or an influence, and then you try to create something new that was but it was inspired or influenced by something that you saw. I think that's how art works. That's how music works. That's how movie works, and that's how video games work. Yeah, but I think the constant, and that's how, to put in perspective, that's how every military shooter is done when it comes to Call of Duty. Call of Duty has become that threshold, and everybody's a Call of Duty clone. Same thing with hero shooters. Anytime you see a hero shoot, it's instantly compared to Overwatch, and it's unfair because they're trying to do their own thing. And, absolutely, yeah, there's some inspiration, but they're trying to do their own thing, swim their own lane. So to your point, to give I guess a short answer to my long answer, I understand it. I think it's unfair.
Okay. So I'ma say yes and no. It's an inconvenience. I would say that. I definitely say it's an inconvenience. Is annoying. I would believe if it's offensive to the developers of Astrobot, the team that made it, if they take offense, I can see why they would. I'm not, but so in that sense, yes, it could be unfair. But I think there is grounds for it. So I'm kind of in the middle with it. I can see the unfairness because I don't think every aspect should be Nintendo should get credit or be pointed to as the we going next inspiration. I think there is playing Astrobot. Keith said made a statement that I bought it for the difference. No, I bought it because it reminded me of Nintendo games. I'm not gonna front, and I wanted to see what that was about because I had never seen a non-Nintendo game look that Nintendo. So now, when I played the game, I realized that there's a lot of things in the game that Nintendo didn't. That is not that I can't say that was Nintendo. So I discovered that, but that wasn't why I bought it. So, but yeah, so I can say yes, it is unfair to an extent. So yeah, I agree. It is unfair to an extent. Yes. So I guess okay. So the next question would be, is it wrong? Now I guess that'll be the next question. Is it wrong? We know it's unfair to. We all say it's unfair, but is it wrong?
What do we mean wrong?
Is it wrong for people to instantly draw comparison to Nintendo titles? Is it wrong for them to see and point out and say, hey, that looks like Mario Sunshine. Hey, that looks like this particular game that Nintendo. Hey, man, that mirrors that. Is it wrong? Even though it might not be fair, is it wrong?
No, I don't think it's wrong. And I would say the developers are probably flattered that we're out here talking about here. Huh?
I'm glad you said that because I got some stuff from developers on the game.
They're probably flattered. I'm not saying what the statement that I was saying in the chat earlier that I'm just right. What I'm saying is I don't feel like we always have to do that when we look at these games. But I think the developers will probably be flattered. I'm still kind of confused on the whole wrong or right thing.
So. I'm saying, okay, in this sense, like the dude who made the video that we used as to kick off this conversation, they basically took Astrobot and began to point out every Nintendo game that they believe is taking influence from. So, as if Astrobot did not innovate or come up with anything, it was all this Nintendo. Even like when you said the diamond shape, and they said Zelda, you like that's when you turned it off because if you reaching that far, that because you saw a diamond, that's Zelda, so that means they stole that from Zelda. when it's just a triangle shape, not diamond, but triangle shape. He flew through a triangle shape, a whole bunch of triangles, and that's Zelda. That was kind of like a reach, and I agree. I was like, damn, that's a reach. It's just triangles. That's in every game. And then you see the monkey or the huge King Kong gorilla, and they say Donkey Kong, but clearly that's more inspired by King Kong than Donkey Kong, right? So is it
Donkey
right?
Kong was inspired by King Kong.
Right. I know that's why I said so. That's not. He say Donkey Kong. Clearly, more inspiration is being drawn from King Kong. If you look at the size, you look at what he's doing, you would say King Kong more so than Donkey Kong, but the dude said Donkey Kong. So is it right? We know it ain't fair, but is it right? Is it wrong to do it? It might not be able to answer that question. I don't know.
I don't know.
K-Mo, give it a shot, bro.
What you got?
Is it wrong, my friend?
Well, I think it's wrong. Here's why I would say that. I think it's wrong because we are making assumptions based off of limited information without the actual knowing what inspired them to do that. We are making assumptions as if we know when it may not even be close to the case, and then we're taking that information, that assumption, and we're making it as if it's fact. And to me, that is wrong because you can't take a something that you don't have an answer to, something that you're speculating, and apply it as if it's fact. And that is where I get the wrongness of that particular episode. I think it's wrong to say, "Oh yeah, Zelda inspired them to create that triangle." What? How? Who? When? Did they say that? Now, if they say that, yeah, I agree. But how did you get? It's a triangle. How did you get that? And that's where I get and that's where I stand with that. To be honest,
Okay.
and that's why I would stand. I don't say boldly, but I would stand on the fact that, and I would call it wrong.
I'm going to say no, it's not wrong, even though you can be wrong in what you're saying it drew inspiration from. It's not wrong, but you can end up being wrong. Going back to what you just said. You can't factually say it, but I do believe when you look at Astrobot and some of the things that you see, there is you can see the clear inspiration. So I can't say it's wrong, even though saying Donkey Kong instead of King Kong was wrong. So no, it's not wrong, but you can be wrong in what you saying came from Nintendo, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I'm needing a yes, no.
I still think, even though we believe it's clearly something, that still doesn't say that.
We're gonna show where it's some things that's clear. It ain't no ifs on it.
But yeah, but okay. Because my idea is what is identified as clear.
I'm finna show you. Right? I'm looking at it right now. Now you may try to argue that it isn't. This scene right here, where he's jumping from this platform and he does basically Sunshine, Mario, that's Flood. That's Flood. If you played that, it ain't no arguing. That is Flood. Now, you could say other games had jetpacks, but it didn't look like that and play like that. That looks just like Mario Sunshine. Okay, this scene right here, where he's running on the platforms and he turns super big and he starts to run through all the things on the stage. That looks just like 3D Mario. Now you could say, yeah, but can we say, well, what other game can we say did that?
And that's why I will argue against that, because just because I can't tell you exactly what game doesn't mean they looked at a game and said, okay, let's do it like that. That I don't agree with.
Okay.
And I will argue that point, because I don't agree with that perspective, that because it looked like something, therefore it is that thing that I believe it is because it looks like that. I would disagree with that. I will stand up absolutely and say that I do not agree with that stance.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I mean this is all opinion. Now, I pulled this up. Now I'm not gonna read all this article, and it clearly has other inspirations in there. But I thought the title of the article was very interesting. It says Astrobot channels the pure design of Nintendo as PlayStation turns towards family. This was a Eurogamer article. Now, when you get down in there, it clearly points out other inspirations. Some of the ones that you brought up, Keith, it points out, I want to get down because I don't want to read all this. Where was it at? I wanted to put all the ones that you had said in it, and it literally mentioned them. Spiral, it's up here somewhere because it's a lot to read. And I don't want to read all this unless y'all want me to.
No,
no, I don't want to. So, but the games that now this is not me. This is a whole different. So Crash Bandicoot was one that they mentioned, but the games that they mentioned the most is Nintendo titles in this article. And then when you get down to the developers, they also mention Nintendo titles.
Read what the developer said.
Okay, let me get there. I'm trying to. Okay, now I'm gonna jack some of these names up. So let me. This is a lot, man. Okay, let me see. I want to try to see where I want to start. Okay, so, well, it's a dang. It starts.
doesn't look good.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. So I'm trying to see where I want to. I think it's Deucich. I don't know how to say that. Describe this as a kind of toy culture. I'm trying to see if I'm reading. Okay. An approach he links back to Astro Playroom, the PlayStation 5 pack-in game that emphasized the physical aspects of PlayStation's hardware over the years. But that also loops in Deucich's early career in Q&A on Lego. That was one that they so it's drawing some inspiration from Lego games. And then on the iToy with PlayStation Now called London Studio. When I went to PlayStation, I expected to find a very different sort of company, he said, but before realizing that actually the lesson of working in Legos translated well. It was very much the same kind of audience. You're trying to put games in the hands of people who may have maybe never played a game in their life. The obvious and understandable comparison with Astrobot is with Nintendo games, particularly the company's 3D platformers like Super Mario Odyssey and Co. But beyond the basic comparison, the third-person mascot platforming, the jumping on enemies, coin collecting, and in this case, bespoken abilities packed up for every level, there is a genuine connection to be made. One is the emphasis on toy-like moments, as Nintendo's often refers to in glowing terms as a toy maker. Now, this is a developer as much as a developer or manufacturer, but they're also sometimes noticeably Nintendo. There's also something noticeably Nintendo about team, however you say that itself, the team that's making this game, in its development practice and philosophy, development practices and philosophy behind the scenes. So the person that's writing this article is pointing out the Nintendo-like aspects of the way that they approach their game philosophy. So I send this to y'all. I hit this. I say this for myself because I wanted to have something. I ain't want to give y'all heads up on it so you can try to pick it apart. But I'll give it to you later. Nintendo gave a rare insight into its approach with two GDC talks earlier this year. One on the miraculous physics of The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, the other on generating ideas for Super Mario Wonder. From both of these, a clear lesson can be drawn from not just the general approach Nintendo has, but the specifics of how it actually develops games, breaking teams up in miniature photo prototype groups, for instance, featuring just one person for each discipline, or soliciting ideas on post-it notes for from across the team. So I send this to y'all, but it shows you that the team behind this game has borrowed a lot of its ideas and philosophies from Nintendo's approach to games. And I think that's why I'm saying I can't say it's wrong, because I feel like it's in the DNA of the game. So thoughts, and then we can move on. It's a lot here to read, so I ain't want to.
So I heard you read that they drew inspiration for how they developed. Is that the same thing as saying they drew inspiration for how they made the game? Like I'm going to make a platformer this way because Nintendo made a platformer this way.
Well, I mean, I know I'm saying that they philosophy, they borrow a lot of their philosophies from Nintendo's philosophy with game creation. So if you were taking the philosophy, it's like reading a book and taking ideas and thoughts from the book, you incorporate it into your outlook and perspective on life. You gonna point back to that book. Yeah, I got that from so and so who I read. I got that philosophy from them. So it'll be in the DNA of their game approach, their development approach. From my perspective, unless I'm reading this article wrong, So, like I said, I send it to y'all, but I'm not saying that Odyssey does not draw inspiration from other games. My key thing was saying it draws majority of its inspirations from Nintendo titles. And then after I read this article, it further cemented my position that because it said their philosophy is practically based on Nintendo's philosophy. I'm not saying that they don't do their own thing with stuff, though. That was not what I was saying. Go ahead. Any other questions, thoughts?
Yeah. I don't know, Keith. Would you finish with your point? I know you made a quick point.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, this tells me what I was thinking, when understanding is that they draw inspiration from Nintendo, and I completely believe that because Sony has always been in awe of Nintendo. The point that I still push back on is to pinpoint a gameplay aspect and say they took that from Mario, or that's Zelda, or that's Kirby. That is what I still disagree with. Because we're saying that they had to take that from Zelda because it looks like Zelda. Even though, yes, the DNA of their development is similar to Nintendo, but to say clearly that is Zelda because there is a bow and arrow or a triangle, to me, is still not correct. I still believe there's no doubt in my mind that this game is inspired and heavy. Well, I can't talk today. Heavily inspired by Nintendo titles. But what I say that you still can't do. Oh, that gameplay is like Sunshine. Therefore, they took that from Sunshine. I don't. Maybe. But it's not a clear cut saying it's a bow and arrow, it's a triangle. That's Zelda. Oh, he ate something.
I agree with that.
Kirby.
I agree with that. But if there is elements that is clearly one-to-one, and you can't pull any other examples across gaming that you see that same thing being done, then is it fair not to say, wow, they kind of got that ideal or that approach to do it that way from a Nintendo title? I don't think it's wrong to say that.
No, but just because someone came up with the same idea doesn't mean that's what they were inspired by. Two people can come up with the same idea and have no conversation with each other.
Right.
It doesn't mean that, oh, that's what they saw, therefore that's what they created. And that's what I'm getting trying to get away from, is that just because I can't pinpoint and say there's another game that does exactly like that or feels like that, therefore they took that from that is a piece I disagree with.
Okay.
And one of the before you go level, one of the things just kind of piggybacking off what K-Bone was saying. One of the reasons why I pinpoint this conversation was because we are kind of just overshadowing Sony's own legacy, even within this Astro game, which I think is going to be fantastic. By the way, you got I saw Kratos.
Yeah.
I saw what's the girl name? Aloy.
Aloy.
You saw all of those things in this game. Of course, you see the PlayStation stuff. So it's like, for me, like, I'm not saying I didn't see Mario Sunshine when he was jumping and, Mario's water pack shoots down. But I also seen something like that in Ratchet and Clank. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like Astro can stand alone and be its own thing and kind of just lead Nintendo out the conversation. I feel like Sony has enough. They've been in the league. What am I saying? They've been in the game. They've been in the game since 90. I was kind of pushing back on. It's like, hey man, they've been doing it for a very long time too.
Okay. So, okay. But I think what you're saying, Keith, I think is another conversation. But I let me deal with what you just said. I'm not even talking about the legacy, because clearly the legacy is Sony's platforms. So you're gonna have Crash Bandicoot, you're gonna have Spyro the Dragon, you're gonna have the girl from Horizon, you're gonna have Kratos, you're gonna have Nathan
Uncharted.
Drake in Last of Us and all their titles. That's the legacy. That you can't take that from Nintendo because it's not Nintendo. I'm only talking about gameplay elements. Like what you said, when you saw Astrobot folding like Mario Sunshine, yeah, you can look at Ratchet and Clank and say, yeah, but all those come after Sunshine. So I'm saying the DNA points back to some of Nintendo's titles. Not that Nintendo created platformers. Maybe Nintendo drew inspiration for elsewhere. But when you also let me make this.
No, I'm not arguing for. I'm just saying they did.
But when you also read that the developers are literally saying the team then builds up a catalog of ideas much the same way as Nintendo did for Super Mario Wonder, and they are letting you know that we studied these guys. We studied their games. So, like music, I may not even, as a musician and a producer, I might not even know I'm putting a sound that came from Drake or came from some song from the past, but I listen to that song a lot. It's in me. I may do something unintentional. And then when I look at it, I must have I was inspired by that song, because I'm literally doing what that was. We do it all the time. That's why there's nothing really original. That's why I don't disagree with K-Bun when he says Nintendo borrowed stuff too. Clearly they did. But what I'm saying, when they are telling you with their own mouth, we studied these guys, and then you look at the game, and it looks like Nintendo, I think is wasted breath to then try to argue that it could not be Nintendo.
He said they studied them on how they develop games.
Yes.
We're not saying that it could not be Nintendo. We're saying that it's not definitely Nintendo. That's I think that's the what's being missed here. I'm not saying that it's not Nintendo. What I'm saying is it's the absolute that is put on it, because we're putting absolutes on there.
But okay,
and that is the piece that I argue against, because we're putting absolute, and we don't. There's still a level of speculation that we're making, but we're making it as if there are absolutes, and that's the piece that I push back on.
But
that's it.
And I understand, but I go back to your statement. You said only people that know is the only person that know for sure where the inspiration came from is those who developed it, right?
Yes.
The developer here is saying we studied Nintendo.
But they're not saying we created this. There's still two different things.
Wait a minute.
We're implying, therefore, this is Zelda. And I will agree with this. I will, again, will disagree with that.
Okay.
That's like,
and I give it to you, Keith. Hold up, Keith. Let me retort that, and then I have it right to you. If I study you, Kobe studied Jordan. Kobe plays like Jordan. Keith, don't you even do that. Is it wrong for a person to say he played like Jordan? He moves like Jordan. He does. Kobe sticks his tongue out like Jordan. They matter of fact, they got a video where they do all Jordan. They show a whole clip of Jordan. They show a whole clip of Kobe, and it's almost 1-to-1. Now, are they the same? No, they're not the same. But clearly, one drew inspiration from the other in their style, in their approach to the game. So this person is saying we studied Nintendo, and then what they created mirrors and reflects a lot of Nintendo. How can you then say, are we sure it's Nintendo?
So Kobe trained with nobody else.
I didn't.
hold on.
That's not what I said. I did not say that.
No. The point I'm trying to make is because he did this move, he could have got this move from Kareem because he did work with Kareem doing back downs. He did work with other players, learning their skills.
Right.
So to say that these moves that he's doing is definitely Jordan is not correct because he's also been a student of the game and studied other people and other moves and worked with other people that could have showed him other ways to do these type of moves. And to say with absolute that this is Jordan, that is where I disagree.
Listen to what I just said. I'm gonna give it to you, Keith. Listen to what I just said, K-Bum. You were making. I didn't ever say absolute. I said if a lot. Let me go deeper than just. I'm not saying everything in the game is Nintendo, but when you see strong influences and it's there, and you can call it that's a Nintendo clear Nintendo influence. I'm not saying there's not other influences there. That's where me and you missing it. When I used Kobe, I didn't say everything Kobe did was Jordan. But when people see Kobe, and because Kobe was heavily influenced, called, studied, mirrored, watched his game mirrored more than anybody else. Jordan. You might see him do moves that may look like Isaiah or this person, but the person he looks like the most is Jordan.
Because he does, and what I'm saying is he could do this move that looks like Jordan, but he did not get that from Jordan. He got that from working back downs with Kareem. And yes, it looks similar to Jordan, but that's not where he got that move. He learned.
That's one move.
I'm applying this to Astrobot. We're saying that move is the same move they do in Mario. Therefore, it came from Mario. I'm saying is that Kobe did the same move that fadeaway that Jordan did. So it's a Jordan fadeaway. He got that from Jordan. What I'm saying is that no, Kobe learned his post game also from Kareem.
And I'm not arguing.
Kareem taught him how to do that post move. But we're applying that to Jordan.
Olajuwon.
My fault, Olajuwon. Thank you. Correct. Olajuwon. What I'm saying is we're applying and blankly say that that's from Jordan when it was Olajuwon that showed him how to do that.
I'm not saying no. I never said what was from what. I said his game mirrors Jordan's. Not who he got it from, who he studied with. He don't look like Isaiah. When he plays, he does not play or look like Isaiah, even if he studied with him. He's mirroring Jordan.
He's playing Kobe.
Oh my God! Okay.
Let it go. No. Because maybe this will make sense. I've been thinking of an analogy. So I can't remember what song it was that Kanye produced for Jay-Z, but he said that he borrowed some. He was influenced by a Dr. Dre song, and he said he was influenced, but when he made his song, Kanye has never made a song that sound like something that came out of Aftermath, ever. But he said he was influenced by Dr. Dre, something about the way he did his drums. All right? Mm-hmm. So he was influenced, but the music, but the music doesn't come out sounding like that song. Right. So the developers are saying that they studied how Nintendo develops their game. They're not saying that they're taking elements from their games. Because I think you said, and I had to read that article since you kept that one in the tuck.
Yeah, I kept it in the tuck. I was gonna share it. I was like, no, I'm gonna keep this to myself. I'll share this later.
But they were saying that like we're gonna break out in smaller teams. If that's something that Nintendo does, that's what they do. But it doesn't mean that they're gonna develop a game like Nintendo because they broke out in smaller groups. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that. I agree. And I agree with that. Only point I'm trying to get to be acknowledged is, okay, if I'm influenced by something, I may intentionally try to do something different. But if a large portion of my ideas and people that wasn't in the development wasn't there, that just looking on, that's onlookers, that's why I use Kobe to Jordan. I didn't use LeBron, even though LeBron wears 23 and does the powder toss. We ain't gonna turn around and say LeBron didn't get that from Jordan. Even though his game is not like Jordan, but them two elements are Jordan. That's what I'm trying to say. Kobe, if you call what I meant, the 23 is inspired by Jordan, right or wrong?
He said it. He said personally. He said it wasn't personally.
I don't
He
care.
said it wasn't inspired by. I am telling you what came
I
from
know
his
what
mouth.
he said.
You can disagree with it.
I'm disagreeing with LeBron, but okay,
I know, but that's what he said out of his mouth because people always ask him, and he said no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was something else. I forgot what he said. And when I heard that, I was like, oh really? I thought it was inspired. Like I personally thought.
Why did you say oh really, K-Ball?
Because I just told you I thought it was inspired by Jordan.
What else made you think it was inspired by Jordan?
Because it was 23. I'm sorry.
Oh, and the powder toss.
No, I know nothing about the powder toss. It was just because it was number 23.
Well,
that's why I thought.
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. I don't know what he said about the powder toss, so I can't talk about it.
I don't know what he said. I don't know what he said about none of it because from what I understood the whole time, and everybody that covered LeBron, they always from his biggest enemy, which is Skip, to all of them say that Skip. All of them say that LeBron took his number and the powder toss from Jordan. Now,
but LeBron himself doesn't even say that.
What'd you say?
And LeBron himself doesn't say that.
No, I know LeBron may not never said LeBron. Yeah, I'm a fan of LeBron, but LeBron ain't because he want to be number one. Now, but we all know that's looking on knows that number was iconic. Not to say he's the only person that wore 23, but clearly LeBron is influenced by Jordan a whole lot. And you come in, you do two iconic signature things of Jordan. Is it wrong for onlookers to say he got that from Jordan?
But that's a different thing than what we're saying. We're not saying we have already said I think onlookers can have that assumption. The wrongness that I'm saying is saying, oh, he got that from Jordan. Like to say with and have that be fact.
Okay, in the case of
that's the point that I've
I agree.
this entire argument that I've disagreed with is the fact that we apply fact to it, and it from his mouth it's not true.
Okay, from LeBron's mouth it's not true. Kobe said he studied Jordan. He was his biggest. He was the Jordan biggest fan. He wanted to be like Jordan. Kobe say all that, but his game mirrors Jordan, but yet and still. Some kind of way he didn't get that from Jordan because he studied with
that's what we're saying. We're saying
Isaiah.
We're saying these moves came from Jordan. The same thing we're saying with Astrobot. We're saying this gameplay came from this game, and we're saying this move came from Jordan. And that's the part I disagree with because still, and that's why I came up with the Lajuan comparison. Right. And because he worked with post game, and even though the post game may look similar, we're still applying this belief that that's exactly what it is, and that is where I will continue to disagree with it.
Okay,
that's kind of
I'm using what you just said to about Kobe. I'm gonna go again, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Just want to restate it. Kobe says, I'm a huge Jordan fan. I want to be like Jordan. I wanted to be like Jordan, just like him. I call him and study his brain and his mind and all this, and his gameplay mirrors Jordan almost 1-to-1. But because he studied the element of his game with Elijah One, yet his game still mirrors Jordan. We gonna say he didn't get it from Jordan because he studied with Elijah One? I'm just trying to get an understanding.
That's not what I said. What I said was when we see that post move that looks like Jordan, we are saying without a doubt he got that from Jordan. Am I wrong or am I right?
I'm saying because Kobe said,
no,
I want to be like Jordan.
Because he idolized Jordan, and because he his game is almost identical to Jordan. When we see him do the Jordan fadeaway, we're saying that's without a doubt Jordan fadeaway. Post game.
Does it look like Elijah One's?
We're saying without
does
a doubt.
Does it look like Magic Johnson? Does it look like Charles Barkley? Does it look like any other player but the player he idolized and wanted to be like?
We're saying without a doubt. That's what he got it. That's where he got it from.
Who did he say he want to be like?
I'm just. You're not answering the question.
Like, I am answering the question.
You're saying the answer is yes, and I say he developed his post game, and I'm not saying I don't know exactly. This is an example. I don't know exactly how Kobe, but I do know Kobe worked with Elijah Wan with his post game. But to say that, oh no, yeah, he got that directly from him when you're not paying to the behind the scenes where he's working with Elijah Wan on his post game and that post fade, even though it may look similar to Jordan, no, he learned that from Elijah Wan. He got on how to do it and the best way to get the open in and all the triple moves he does with it. And even though it looks similar, no, Elijah Wan told him how to get the arm cocked and told him how to get that. But because we don't have that inside knowledge, we make the assumption and we apply fact to it when it may not be the truth.
Elijah Wan may have helped him perfect the moves, right? I agree with. Elijah One can help you perfect something does not mean that the origin of what you're doing is not inspired by another. Elijah One might have been the one he worked on it with and got pointers from to better perfect it, but he doesn't look like Elijah One when he's doing his moves. He looks like the person he's influenced by. So, yes, he might have worked with Elijah One to get better at it. But from Kobe's own mouth, I wanted to be like Jordan. That's what Kobe said. So, and he looks like Jordan. So, if the move looks like Jordan and not like Elijah One, just because he worked with Elijah One to perfect it, doesn't mean that Elijah One is the one who gave him the move. I don't see how you can't see that.
We're gonna go. This is one of those arguments we go around in circles with because, like I said, I've said my piece on it and how I feel about that. And again, we're still applying and we're saying that's definitely and when two moves can look similar and it not come from that person you outline. Just because you do a move similar does not mean I've seen the videos. When they take another player and they show the video and how his move looks exactly, they can do that for half the NBA. I'm not saying that that's not true for Kobe. I'm not applying
that's why I
that.
said
Don't believe that I'm applying that. I'm not applying that. What I'm saying is I've seen them take players that they did not get any influence from that player and they play the videos and see that they do the same moves in the same spot.
And I agree with
that. And people will say, yeah, that's what he got it from. And we don't know.
But that's my point, K-Pong.
On where he got the moves.
I agree with that. I agree wholeheartedly with that. That's why I'm not talking about every player. I talked about a specific player, Kobe and Jordan, and what Kobe says about Jordan. I'm talking about ASTRO and what the developers say about Nintendo and the fact that their game look like Nintendo games, and they say they study Nintendo, they inspired by Nintendo, and their game look like Nintendo, but yet some kind of way they didn't get that from Nintendo.
Again, you are saying that I'm saying that they did not give from Nintendo. What I'm saying is the absolute we apply to it. We keep applying something that I'm not saying. I'm not saying they didn't give from Nintendo. I'm saying the absolute that we are applying to this statement. We are applying absolutes to it.
Okay, it ain't an absolute.
That is the only discussion that I have with that.
It's a strong possibility.
Yes, and I don't deny that.
Okay.
What I've been denying for the
see.
entire time is the absolutes.
Look at Keith. Look at Keith as I'm fell back. Are you woke, Keith? See, this is what he do on the chat. This is what he do in the chat.
No, I got my eyes dilated. I'm good.
So
you cop out.
So anyway, I let y'all be the determiner of what side you lean on. I don't think it's wrong. I can see where it can be wrong. I don't think it's wrong to do it, but I can see where you can be wrong with saying that came from someone that didn't. But I don't think it's wrong for people to make the comparison when it's so closely mirrors. Just like Kobe to Shaq. I mean Kobe to Jordan. This last thing, and I'm going to play this because we at the end. I want to ask y'all a question about this game from Nintendo. And I'm playing it, and I don't care. It's only 15 seconds. So this is the new game from Nintendo called, how you say that? EMIO?
I don't think anybody knows how to say it yet.
EMIO?
This said nobody knows how to say
Nobody
it.
said.
That's funny.
How you say it, Nia? How we say this? Is it EMIO? EMIO? I don't know how to say it. But this is, I'm curious of what y'all think about this time. Keith, when you first saw this trailer, and let me put it back in. I'm not going to play it this time. I think 15 seconds. We might not get in trouble for 15 seconds. Fair use. What did you think when you saw this? I think it was, did you post this in the chat, Keith?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think about this when you saw it?
I was excited for the possibility of a new IP or something new from Nintendo. I was excited because Nintendo's going in their weird bag, because it's kind of weird, right? I think that looks
creepy.
weird. It's real creepy. You know, they didn't. You know, they trying something different. No, I did not think Switch 2. I didn't think none of that. I just wanted to know what this was. So hopefully, on the other side of this weirdness, we get some type of new IP that's pretty fun. Maybe a horror IP or something like that, or a mystery or something. But yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was very intriguing, but just happy to see Nintendo going back in their weird bag.
Okay. It's a game that popped in my head that from the GameCube era. I don't know if you're thinking of the game I'm thinking of. That was produced by Nintendo. It was weird and strange.
Are you talking about Eternal Darkness?
Yes. So it's not outside of Nintendo to make these type of mature, weird games, but I think it's shocking when they do it. K-Bun, what was your thoughts when you saw this, man? As coming from Nintendo, and was this shocking to you, or strange, or odd?
To be honest, I didn't know what to think. I'm still sitting here like, what am I looking at? I couldn't formulate what to think about that, because that looks yeah. I guess the only thing is that maybe they're diving into some mature content, which I think they should. Nintendo should provide different avenues for their games, and I think that's dope. But I don't know what to think of that. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a few things that stand out to me with this is, one, they just had a Nintendo Direct, and I'm pretty sure they could have had this for that, and they did not put it in that, right? That's puzzling to me. Secondly, this is only 15 seconds. I almost thought, like, did they accidentally post this and didn't? Like, I was like when I clicked on the key, I'm like, okay, what is this? And then it went off. Like, as fast as it came on, it went off. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all just had a Direct. y'all could have easily put this in that direct, but you separating that from this as if you want this to have its own space. That intrigues me. Because what it says to me is this is bigger. This may be bigger than what we think. The 15 seconds, I think they're trying to gauge the community. Now, speculation is this a cross-platform title? I have no idea. I watched several videos where it was trying to talk about some stuff they found behind the scenes with different producers and games, that secret games that they have that's supposed to be, I don't know. But I think Dr. Trey had the best take on this video. Did you see his take?
Yeah, I saw, but didn't he say he was trolling? Although I think he was still being for real.
I don't know. If he said he was trolling, I don't want to use his information because I don't want to be sounding up and sounding stupid. Yeah, he's over trolling. But
I think it's one of those times where folks be like, "Hey, this video is for educational purposes." I think it was more like that.
Oh, okay. It is puzzling to me that they did this at this time when you just had a direct. Why would you do this? And it seems like it's going to be more. There's more to this, and probably going to be more videos dropping like this of this game. It may just be a promotional way they want to promote it. But they did catch my attention. It was disturbing when I watched it. I was like, man, this is disturbing. This is weird. But it's like you said, Keith, it is kind of nice to see Nintendo outside of the kiddie formula doing something abnormal for them, So I'm curious about it. It got the internet talking. It got a lot of people talking. So
which is kind of the point of these little shock drops. Is like they're gauging.
Yeah. It got the internet talking. Like EMIO is a conversation. Thank you, Nia. So it is EMIO. So I was saying it right.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. I'll give myself some claps. Thank you. My teacher is a good teacher. She keeps me right. So anyway, EMIO for Smash. He kind of put me in the mind. Y'all don't play what's that fighting game I got over there called Strive? Guilty Gear Strive. There's a character there that has a doctor in there that has a bag over his head, a surgeon, a fighting character. The EMIO in Smash, maybe. Who's the dude, Sakurai, that makes Smash? If his hands ain't all arthritic, like every time that man makes Smash, they say he almost die. I don't get that. But anyway, yeah, he may be a dope. I just want to see what it is, man. Any speculation what you think it is, K-Ball? What you think the game?
I was assuming it's some type of horror type of game, but they say it's 15 seconds, but that was my first thought.
Yeah, it's different. All right, well, any other thoughts, man? That's pretty much it for tonight. I told y'all we was going to get some ranting and some hollering and some arguing. But y'all know we never going to no, man, I'm done with you. I was just done with K-Bum in the comment section today. I was like, I am done. I'm not arguing with this dude. I got to set this room. I'm already an hour behind. I'm still, what'd he say next? You better not say nothing crazy. I had to put my phone down. So anyway, that was the podcast for tonight. Let us know in the comment section what side you lean on. Is it fair? Is it unfair? I'll send y'all the article that I had for that. Let y'all read through it. I want to say that there were other influences clear, like you saw Lego and different ones. So I think y'all enjoyed the read. What you say? I might be wrong. You're not wrong, Nia. You know how to say it. But go ahead, Mr. Go ahead, Keith or K-Bum. One of y'all go ahead and sign out, man.
Yeah, good show tonight. I like the Xbox takes that we had. I thoroughly enjoyed what you've been gaming on. I can't wait to hear more about some more interesting games that we're playing. Hey man, listen, I just want to say this. If you own great, content creator, you're doing good things for the people, just kind kind of be honest about things. There's people actually going through stuff out here, and you're making a mockery of the things that they go through. If you know, you know. But yeah, man, it was a great show. Can't wait to come back next week and talk about some more games.
Okay. K-Bomb's quitting.
Yeah. Enjoy the podcast. I always look forward to Thursdays. Sometime I get to lay my hair down because I don't have hair, but you get the metaphor. But kick it with the homies as par for the course. Me and Level don't see eye to eye, but that's part of the reason why some of you guys come. Is to hear that you will hear raw takes, and you will hear planned takes, and you will hear this is not neither one of us are yes men, and so we're not going to sit up here and blow smoke at each other. We're gonna come out here, and sometimes we're gonna take the gloves off and we're gonna swing. So that's what you get. If you come here to the podcast, it's probably what you're looking for. We're not gonna kiss up to each other and just pat each other on the back. If you're right, you're right, and we'll do that. But if there's a disagreement to be had, then there is a disagreement to be had. But appreciate it as always. It's all out of love. 20, 30 some years, I guess 20 some years of relationship keeps it strong. Probably want to roll up on him, but it's all good, man. It's my brother. I love him.
Why you want to roll up on me? But no, man. Shouts out to everyone that joined us on tonight. Me and K-Bum has always been passionate about our opinions and our takes. We do this in football, basketball, video games, church, whatever we disagree on. We just passionate. We opinionated, and it makes for good banter, good conversation. No one takes this stuff personal, and when we do, we squash that off scene. Y'all never see that. And it's been very few times that we actually ever, and it wasn't over what we was arguing. It may have been something that was said that was mistaken. But most of the time, we stay straight. We do this in the chat room. Keith gets to watch it all the time. Sometimes Keith stirs it up. Sometimes he throws gas on it. And sometimes he's the cause of it. But we're not going to blame Keith for today's argument. But we thank y'all for being here to listen. Shout out to Nia, Matt, Jazz. Who else was in here?
Jerry man,
Laker 2020. That's my first time ever seeing you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. All right, ma'am, who I don't want to
assume your gender.
Yeah, and everyone else that jumped in here, thank y'all for tuning in. Keith, you got to inform me what you was talking about when we get off, because I'm curious what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But with that being said, this was the cast. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. The Live and Level Gamers podcast. I almost messed that up. Where we keep it real. Now, we won't do this next week unless we have a topic that sparks it, but most likely won't. Insane? What you mean insane? Good show. Thank you. Yes. That was the show for the night. Thank you for tuning in.
We got